Now before I get started, first of all, grab your snacks, strap in. This is huge. First things first, all credit to the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross scenes go to KH Insider. Go check out their channel and watch the original videos first and then come back here. Get it? Got it? Good. Now don't let me find out one of y'all continuing without having any knowledge from them. Now you gonna get... We all know Brain is referred to by himself and by others as the virus because he wasn't a dandelion, nor was he chosen to be a union leader to lead the world after the Keyblade War ended, because he wasn't part of the plan in the first place and is changing things around. The big reason why I think in his mind, because of his end goal of being able to set all the Keyblade wielders on a good timeline, he thought killing Shalicia was worth it regardless of how unnecessary it was or evil. He could have just picked her at random, but I do think he chose her specifically because of her more fragile nature, making for an easier target to get. Now there's pretty definite evidence as to what Brain's goal was and if he accomplished it or not, and I will inform you if you don't already know, but there are key parts that aren't explained that I'll discuss and what makes this video a theory in itself. First, Brain himself says that he has a goal. Right now, we are still walking the path of a ruined destiny, and overriding the memories of the Keyblade War didn't change that. I'm going to become the virus that rewrites the program that is this destiny. Now, although I consider Brain having done an evil deed by killing Shalicia, his end goal just isn't evil. He wants to save everyone, genuinely. Evidence for what I've said is given by Unknown in Kingdom Hearts 3 Secret Report 11, which is obviously Lucio in this report. He says, one of the 5 is an imposter, someone the master did not choose. They represent a virus in the program he so carefully wrote, and the virus has begun a strange undertaking, a reckless plot to allow the 5 to escape into another world line. Such a thing can't be possible. We're talking about the same trick that allowed the Dandelions to transfer to other world lines after the Keyblade War. But these children are no masters. They haven't the means. Unless, of course, a certain lady of magic summoned here from the future knows more than I do. So we have it. The identity of a virus matches up. But the thing is, it's true. They shouldn't have the means to make this jump because they were just apprentices, no masters by any stretch. But what I think is happening is when Lucio says a certain lady of magic summoned from the future, he has to mean Maleficent 100% because she had the ability to do so even without leaving her body behind and not needing a version at the destination. And now my theory, Maleficent found Brain before the Keyblade War went down, informed him of the master's plan, and tricked him into believing that changing world lines isn't stopping anything by playing the ploy of I'm from the future, which isn't a lie. She is from the future, telling him what terrible things happen in the future, the heartless, the nobodies, worlds falling to darkness, etc. And to test his belief, telling him what will begin happening to the world if no actions are taken, aka the distortions I discussed from my last video. Check it out if you haven't, which keys into why he says so it begins at the end of one of the newest scenes. So because he believes her, in order to save everyone and ensure Keyblade wielders live on, he must retain his memories. The only way to do so is to pose as a union leader and kill the weakest link, or the first one he finds out is one. Because of Maleficent choosing him, he believes that he is the only one that can do this. Hey, you like what I'm thinking so far? Hit that like button and subscribe button to prove it. Yeah, I got y'all again. But there's the true parts, and then there's my first theory parts. The question is, so what happened after that? Well, actually, we know this. If you prefer, again, the Kingdom Hearts 3 Secret Reports, but report 12 this time, he says, amid the chaos, I bequeathed my Keyblade to one of the union leaders, just as the master instructed. I watched as the 5 were sent to another world line at no small cost, ensuring the line of Keyblade wielders will live on. But I will continue gazing upon each passing era, one unto the next. In time, be it years or decades, centuries or millennia, I will meet the 5 once more. So in case for the people that didn't know, although we don't have complete details on how things got to the end, we know in the end, the 5 did it, or rather Brain did it. They successfully made the jump to another world line, but as Lucius explicitly states, at no small cost, even with hyphens or rather for emphasis, meaning yeah, it was huge. Now if you watched my last video, you remember I said the reason why there were time distortions is because the masters possibly made a small sacrifice to purposely cause this to happen. Do we know why? No, because we don't know his end goal. Now if you thought this was interesting so far, here's where things really get big. So as we know, the distortions leaking through show events that occurred previously. What I think happens is they find out either from a conversation with the master of masters, in order to make the jump from another world line, there has to be a sacrifice of some kind. Either that or Brain is told by Maleficent in the midst of the chaos as well, and he goes and tells the others. In this case, I believe it's going to be that they have to sacrifice at least one individual's life as well as their memories. Now wait, hold hold on a minute, put down your pitchforks, hear me out. The reason I believe they must sacrifice their memories is in order to keep balance with switching timelines. I think this is the true reason that all dandelions lost their memories. Now calm it down, sit down, I know what you're thinking. Well then why did the Union leaders keep their memories? They still had them, remember, stupid. Well, what if the catalyst that the Master of Masters wanted for things to begin to go haywire was exactly that? I didn't want to mention this in the last video, but I alluded to it because it would spoil too much for this one. But what if the Master of Masters just told Ava what she wanted to hear by telling her that they shouldn't want to keep memories of tragedy, which is why she recited the same thing to Ephemera, all as a cover up for the true sacrifice needed in order to make the jump, keeping their memories when every single person transferring them had to lose them. And there's more I want to discuss on the portion of memory, but I need to explain the next part of my theory first. So as far as sacrificing one individual, I do think this is a necessary feat. You might be wondering, well, who was the sacrifice for the first jump? Well, considering how many died in the Keyblade War, I think that will suffice. It doesn't necessarily have to be an important sacrifice because important is subjective, but I do think there has to be some sacrifice. But sadly, for this jump, I think the person's sacrifice is going to be Ephemera. Considering his nature, I do believe that if it came up for someone to be sacrificed, he would be willing to do this. It's just his personality. And I have multiple reasonings to support this. First off, I should say that when they made this jump, not only did they make this jump to a different world line, but they jumped to the timeline that we know. Not only that, but much farther into the future, each of them at slightly different points in that time. I say this because how else would Ventus, who is an ancient Keyblade wielder because he was in their time during all of this, have been able to retain his age all the way to birth by sleep, and that body being the same body? This was the thing that tipped me onto this path. So I dug some more, thinking, okay, if Ventus made it, so must have the other leaders. First, let's start with Ventus, present and accounted for in Birth by Sleep as a main character, first found by Master Xehanort with no memory of his past. Even when he met Terra and Aqua, he had no idea where he came from. When he got his memories back, it was only of Xehanort's tutelage. Nothing before that. He had no memory of anything else. So that's one Union leader from way back then that is still young in this time that lost their memory. That's one down. Next up is Lauriam, present in Chain and Rechain of Memories as the nobody Marluxia, with no memory of who he was as a somebody, and he doesn't even remember until his final conversion back into a somebody at the very end of Kingdom Hearts 3, where he says he remembers his purpose. Nomura confirms in the KH3 ultimatum that he was referring to his own identity that he remembers, and the reason he's so much older is because, well, not necessarily older but aged at all, is because he's the only one that we've seen of them that wasn't stunted per se. Ventus would have had the same physical growth and aging as Marluxia, but he didn't because his heart was asleep for 10 whole years. The aging did not occur, so Lauriam and Marluxia had also lost his memory. That's 2 down. Third is Brain. This was probably the hardest loose end to tie up, but the only thing I can surmise is that he was sent a little bit farther back as far as time concerned than everyone else. What I mean is, it was also confirmed that Ericus was actually the descendant of someone that was a dandelion. So if you look at the messy hair of both Brain and young Ericus, is it too much to say for them to be relatives? Who knows, but I like to believe so because I think that'd be pretty freaking cool, to be honest. So Brain was just sent early enough to be Master Ericus's father, and we never got told who Ericus's and Xehanort's master was. For the sake of this theory, I'm also going to go along with it because of that. Like I said, this was the hardest thread in the needle to get in because pulling a little bit more at string, just drawing strings just a tiny bit with this one, but I believe even so, I'm still pretty much on the right track so far. So Brain, that's a check. 3 down. The fourth and final one is Skuld, probably the most interesting and the most quintessential to this theory. And I don't even use that word, that's how you know it's real. Now think back to Kingdom Hearts 3. Remember the mysterious girl that both Sykes and Axel kept talking about in the game? The one that they met and was able to be friends with but was lost one day? The only girl that we have any knowledge of that the whereabouts haven't been resolved yet is Skuld. Now I'm not jumping the gun, I have more evidence to this. In KH3 Secret Report 1, it reads this: "Am I alive? I awoke in a cell, alone until the researchers came with their test and their prodding to uncover my identity." This means none of Anson's researchers know who this could be, aka they have no ties to who we know. And I had no answer to offer them. 4 friends and a key. That is the sum total of my memory. I couldn't even recall my name. My only solace was the time I spent talking with the 2 boys who would visit from time to time. One day, a man came to take me from the prison. I could not see him for the darkness, save that he wore an eye patch. Even years on, I feel no closer to understanding who or what I am. May my heart be my guiding key. This whole report alone is huge. First, yes, this is the same person that Lee and Isa met, because in report 5, Sykes states that they found her in the castle prison, and in report 6 it says them to speaking to her was all the comfort 2 children could offer, synonymous to how in report 1 she said she was given solace by 2 boys. So this confirms that they are one and the same. Second, she says her only memory is 4 friends and a key. There were 5 total union leaders, so not only does that mean she lost her memory, but it means she remembers that there was 4 friends and a key leading back to the union leaders. And the key has to be the key Luciu bestowed upon one of them, which he says in his report, which I assume was to Brain, because why else would a key stand out in a world of key users? There had to be an important event involving a key to go down. So a female in a group with 4 other people where there was only 1 total female. This just points to the girl being a Skuld, because every other girl is present and accounted for. Third, a man with an eye patch took her out of prison. We learned that Luciu was Xigbar in the epilogue of Kingdom Hearts 3, the only prominent character with an eye patch. We also know it was him because he said in report 12 that he would meet the 5 again. So a girl with 4 friends that Luciu needs and refers to as needing to meet again. That's a huge connection between those 2. Big points right there. But the final thing to seal the deal is the final words of report 1. May my heart be my guiding key. Now this was a phrase that only known by ancient Keyblade wielders, and the few that those ancient Keyblade wielders passed down to the still very much older but less old Keyblade wielders. So a female among 4 important others with an important key that happened in their time that Luciu needs to have with him, that knows the ancient Keyblade wielding phrase, may my heart be my guiding key. Come on, man. This is 1,000,000% Skuld. Nobody else even fits. So her, Ventus and Lauriam and Brain all support my theory of them having made their jump to this timeline and losing their memory and being present and accounted for mainly. With all of that said, this begs the question of, where's Ephemera then? Well, this is where the other part comes in, guys, but I do believe he was the one sacrificed because everyone else is present and accounted for. Him not being present and accounted for is why I think there needed to be a sacrifice of a person. No other secret child lost with no memories, no other person with silver hair that they don't know of or anything like that. But what we do see is a vision of Ephemera at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 speaking to Sora to give him help to fend off the Heartless. When it's explained that those were the Keyblade wielders of old coming to help, then why wasn't the other 4 leaders there? Simple, because they were still alive and well, while the spirit of Ephemera was still among that land, and that land only, coming to Sora's aid when he needed it. You can pretty much see it as his spirit, meaning in my eyes that Ephemera, as cool a guy he is, he's truly dead. He wasn't even among the stars still hanging on because he willingly sacrificed himself to save the others, meaning he had no regrets, no reason to cling on to his life hoping for someone to pull him back as long as they were all safe. Woo, Jesus Christ. But I truly wholeheartedly believe that this theory is the truth. Like Luciu said, there's no small cost for their jump. I believe that the cost was their memories and a person, the person being Ephemera, and the other's lack of memory in the present time speak for this. But at the end of the day, until this is confirmed, it's just a theory. It's just a theory, guys. Again, oh wait, wrong show. you guys know I had to throw that one in there. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, then leave a like and comment for discussion down in the comments below, of course. Do you think I'm completely right? Answer this question of the video. Do you think I'm completely right, mostly right, or not at all? Feel free to comment below what you think and discuss stuff that you think I got right or you think that need to be tweaked a little bit and what you think actually happened. I'll be happy to chat with you guys. And if you enjoyed this juicy theory, then please hit that subscribe button because I got plenty more videos of all kinds, including theories, coming at you guys. Now, links to my Twitch for exclusive streams and my other social media are in the description below, as well as the link to the KH Insider channel. Go ahead and sub to them to credits for the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross scenes and English sub translations. Please subscribe to them immediately. Now, once again, I want to thank you all for staying this long. Shout out to you guys that stayed for the entire thing. And don't forget to share the video around because it'll really truly help me out. Again, I can't say this enough. Thank you for sticking around. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace, guys.